Hey guys, welcome to the YouTube channel. Today I want to tell you about how much I earned my first year on YouTube. So I've got my iPad here and I've got loaded up YouTube Studio. So we're going to have a bit of a look at it. I'm going to show you kind of the peaks and the valleys of earning on YouTube. And most people know I got monetized pretty early on. So I believe it was late March I got monetized. And yeah, I was posting basically once daily on the first month or two when I was doing it. And that's how I got monetized so quickly. So let's have a look at how much I've earned. And I'm just going to bring it over here. I'm just going to go screen record. 3, 2, 1, recording. So that I can sync them up in post. And you'll see here that there is a big spike there. So I think I got monetized on the 28th. So 27th was the last day I wasn't thing. And then 28th I earned $14.09. My first day on YouTube. That's how much I earned from monetization. And then you can see that big peak. Let's jump to that big peak there, if I can get it. So the 29th, I earned $60.06. And yeah, you can see there's kind of like the chart there is pretty accurate to like how much I've earned. You saw it fall off a peak because I took a bit of a break around April or May, I think. So obviously the views fell off a bit. And then I had to get traction again. I'm just going to have a quick drink of water because I'm still getting over the flu. But you can see there's peaks and valleys on this thing. And yeah, so let's have a quick look at some of the high earning content. I'm just going to scroll down a bit here. So you can see you don't need 4K Blu-ray. I earned $192.63. That one was a bit of a anomaly because that was the first one I did addressing if you're a collector, you don't always have to collect the high end. You can go towards Blu-ray or DVD or Laserdisc or VHS, whatever your preference is. You don't really need the newest format just to say I collect, that was the point of that video. And I think most people gravitate towards that. And that's one that's been reacted to from other YouTubers. Yeah, that did really well. Obviously you can see physical media collectors won't tell you these things, $129.33 for that video. And you can see all these videos kind of earned about 50, 40, 30, 20, and then, average probably about 10 is how much I get paid maybe per video, sometimes even $3 or $4, It's not like some massive sort of thing, but let's have a look at the niche. Let's have a look at how much it pays. So this one, let's go to the top earning one, obviously revenue. See, this one had 168 watch hours. This is for, you don't need 4K Blu-ray. And you can tell I'm retaining the audience most part through this whole thing, so I don't want to watch the whole video, but you can tell 62% of the viewers are sticking around. It gained 283 subscribers, 1,800 watch hours, which is pretty good. That's basically half of your thing to get monetized right there. And 24,000 views. And then let's look at estimated revenue, because I know people like to look at that sort of stuff. So you can see most of them came from the ads, obviously ad revenue, and then some came from YouTube Premium, because people obviously pay for YouTube Premium. I get some of that. And I don't think it shows me my price per 1,000, but I'm sure it would be here somewhere. I don't know. I don't know where it is, but yeah, anyways. This is side of the, hold on, revenue, there we go. Let's go to revenue. So I got paid, advertisers paid $20.20 for that, but I don't get that much. So they pay that, but I don't think that's how much I got paid per that. So there, I get about $7.87, YouTube take their cut and then give me whatever, but, for me, it's never been about the ads. It's just been about, it's good to earn some money from YouTube, don't get me wrong, but it's not what the channel's about. It's about connecting a community, building a community, and, having fun on here. But let's go back to the main fun of this. So you can see that first peak, I kind of earned $60, and then it kind of went downhill, 40, 30, 20, so on and so on. And you can see where I went on a break there, where it hit like 70 cents, because I went on a break through like June and May and all that. So you can see where it kind of hit a peak where I wasn't even really trying, because the thing with me getting monetized so quickly was, there was part of me that was just like, this is kind of hurting the channel. And so that was when I did the whole rebrand, the physical way. And yeah, I rebranded very early on and made that mistake, so that's out of the way now. But now it's Jamie Toomey Presents. It used to be called Jamie Toomey Live, but now it's Jamie Toomey Presents because I'm not doing it live. That's why I changed the name. And yeah, obviously the physical way didn't really work. And then when I changed it back, I found that, you know, picked up quite a bit. And I think that's in part because people want to connect and they don't want to be preached to from a brand. Like, the physical way was a good idea, but people don't want to watch a brand. People want something that's unpolished. When you go, if people want a polished product scripted to the ends, they'll go and watch mainstream TV, you know? There are other avenues to watch that. The whole point of YouTube is that you can find someone who aligns with your niche and you can kind of watch that person and enjoy that person's content. But yeah, let's have a look at the overall for the year. So $1,838.28. That is my total that I've earned on YouTube lifetime. You can see, like, that's lifetime earnings. And yeah, you know, that's a pretty good thing. And we'll stop screen recording that now because I will talk to you and tell you about that. So, the whole thing with YouTube monetization. Now, most people, when they get monetized, start letting it go to their head. And that's why I took the break from YouTube. Sorry for drinking a lot of water, but I am still pretty not good at this point. Still getting over that flu that I mentioned the other week. So obviously with that, you can see that I was targeting a niche with physical media. That is where I've really excelled. That's where my audience is. Now, I've also been in gaming. I've also done some gaming videos, some wrestling videos here and there. I've tried everything. But I always come back to physical media because it is my niche. It's the one I focus on. It's the one that my audience likes to hear me talk about because it's something I'm very knowledgeable about. But, you know, something about authenticity, I think, is why people watch my videos. And also with the ads, I will say this. I very closely monitor the ads on my channel, so I will usually watch through an external browser just to see what sort of ads are on there. I won't be logged in on it. I may even go to another computer just to see what I'm getting. And sometimes early on, I noticed there was ads that I wasn't necessarily comfortable with on there. So I went into the back end of YouTube ad settings and the AdSense program and actually started turning off certain ads like gambling, so on and so forth, like the ads I don't feel necessarily comfortable with. And also I found that also YouTube were putting basically ads every minute early on because I just let YouTube default because I was like, oh, YouTube will know how to do this. So I just let YouTube default it, and I found there was an ad every minute in the video. So I managed to turn that off early on, and I was like, okay, give it to me at the start, middle, end, you know, the traditional ad placement. And as soon as I did that, my content started getting more views again. Like, people didn't feel like, I feel like my fans understood that I was respecting them by trying to do that. Like, obviously there's going to be ads on YouTube videos regardless if the creator's getting paid or not. You could be a new YouTuber and not in the AdSense program, and that YouTube will still put ads on your video. So that's my view on, like, okay, well, I might as well get something out of that instead of not getting nothing at all and YouTube's going to do it anyways. So yeah, it was fun to get monetized really early on. But also, this is the thing. I don't let it go to my head. Like, don't get me wrong, there's times where I come on here and have a bit of a rant about physical media and that, but I don't let it go to my head. And there are times where I'll make videos and I will make mistakes. Like, I do consider the Blu-ray sucks video a mistake, and yeah, it did very well in terms of views, but my fans, you guys, told me I was out of line with that title. And yes, while the content may have backed up what I was saying in the title, it was necessarily a triggering title. Like, you know, it's something that my fans don't want to hear. They don't want to hear me say Blu-ray sucks under any circumstance. Yes, I'm a big fan of it, but why do I need to get into that clickbaity sort of titles, you know? So I respect my fans, and that's something you have to be aware of, and why I believe I got to that number pretty fast this year, because I do respect my fans. I do respect what they say, and I do respect that if I'm saying stuff like Blu-ray sucks in the title video, then, you know, my fans are going to say, well, aren't you a big collector? And you can't say that. Like, that's horrible to say. Even when I did 4K sucks, people say, no, that's the high-end format. And I was like, yeah, but the devil's advocate side is that, you know, sometimes you get shoddy transfers and this and that. But my fans understand. My fans don't like to hear triggering stuff like that, you know? And that's what I figure. I try to respect the fans, and the fans respect me. And that's why my engagement's so high, because I'm not scripting this stuff. I am talking off the top of my head, trying to make this a successful channel. And it's not about all the views. Like I told everyone from the start of this channel, if my channel has 100 subscribers and gets 10 of those people commenting, that's a win for me, because that means 10 people have stopped, watched the video, and are engaging with it. That's all I care about, engagement. And that's the thing, once you start focusing on engagement, not the views, not the monetization, the engagement. That's where your fan base is built. That's where loyalty is built to your whatever you're shipping. That's where you start to find long-time fans. Now, obviously, I started on TikTok earlier this year. That was something I've been doing for about a year, repurposing concept videos. But then I started posting to TikTok, and that's where a lot of my early subscribers came from TikTok leading them into YouTube. And yeah, so it's all about, I didn't feel TikTok was working for me, but I felt that when I jumped onto YouTube, it did deliver more results because I was being more consistent. And that's another thing about getting to that number. Be consistent. Don't... the first few videos are going to do terrible views because you're still learning your craft. Like, you could see the first few videos of me, like, I'm very soft-spoken, like, I'm sitting there like, hey guys, welcome to the channel, and what do you think about this and that? Now I don't care, I'm just doing personality stuff, you know? I used to have a table here, the chair here, and I'd sit there with a microphone. I think the microphone's over there. But, you know, I would have this whole thing worked out, and I was trying to do it like a John Campier podcast, you know? And then as times went on, I just said, yeah, just clip it to my shirt, and as long as, like, the ability to be able to move around gives you the ability to grab titles off the shelf and talk about them and say, yeah, look at this one here. I haven't seen Dune, by the way. I need to watch Dune, like all the Dune movies, like going back to the 80s or whatever. But, you know, I can point at that and talk about that. See, you wouldn't know that unless I was up looking at my collection actively. Whereas if you're just sitting at a table with your back to it, you don't necessarily get that spontaneity of anything can happen at any given moment. Spontaneous nature of YouTube is what drives people to watch YouTube. Yeah, it's not polished. It's not something that's a studio program that's edited, over-edited. And that's another reason why I don't edit the videos much, because I believe spontaneity is part of what the niche needs, my niche. I like my fans to know that I could say anything at any given time, and while fans sometimes will not necessarily always agree with me, that's part of the beauty of my channel. I'm not polished. I'm not the most trained person in that space. But that's why I believe my fans love it, because it's not being they're not being preached to by some massive corporation or whatever. I speak for myself, by the way, so I know people have sometimes Googled me and all that, I know that, but I speak for myself. I don't speak for anyone else. No one else speaks for me. I speak for myself, I represent myself, and this YouTube is representative of me. So yeah, that's all you ever need to know about that. But you know, when I am on YouTube, it's all about connecting with my fans, and we're talking about a niche, and we're doing this sort of stuff. And while I'm always working at stuff in the back end, trying to figure out like what I can do to bring more fans on board, and what I can do professionally in the industry to make my reputation even larger on that stance, you know. I know there's a lot of people who are like, oh, he's just he spends no money on women, and he spends no money on this, and I know people get very racist sometimes in those comments, and I've had to block a couple of people, but, you know, I've had to really show, like, no, I am successful in my career outside of YouTube. Like, I am a successful person. But also, you know, I love this niche, and since I've started talking to a camera, I've become more confident on camera, and that's the thing. Your first few videos, you're gonna watch back and be like, oh, cringe, like, you know. I've watched back my old videos, and that's why I repost them here and there, because I think it's important for the channel moving forward to see where I started. And for people who may be finding the channel now, to understand where my earlier videos came from. That's why I've got a playlist on my channel saying my first 10 videos, because that's important. And I think as the channel grows, it's going to be important to always look back and say, Well, it came from here and made it to there. So, you know, that's the type of stuff that I look at monetization and I'm like, this is amazing for something that I'm passionate about. I am literally getting paid to do something I love. And that's interesting. That's fun. And people are always going to have a problem with that and say, oh, well, you're a sellout because you've got that ad revenue. Well, YouTube was going to put ads on my videos regardless. It's kind of part of their policy that they're going to put ads on your videos regardless of whether your AdSense or not. That's part of their shtick. And I was like, well, I might as well get some of that, you know. I'm creating stuff and, you know, a bit of that money going in means I can maybe pick up like a new 4K. Like I did an Austin Powers review that I'm going to upload soon. That's already filmed in the can, ready to go. I just have to upload it and do all the final little checks. I'm also going to review American Pie. I don't know if you can see that may be off camera, but I got American Pie on 4K. I did watch it last night, and yeah, I have to do a review of that at some point. I have to film it still. I haven't got around to it, but I will say that the American Pie 4K transfer is really, really good. Almost like reference quality. It's really spot on. Like you can see the grain in there and all that. But I'm sure that's everything you needed to know about getting monetized, how much I earned my first year on YouTube, and a little bit more. Maybe there's stuff in there that you can take on for your channel. I mean, I know a lot of people up and rising channels are watching me, the way I watched Jeff from Films at Home, and the way I watched Serial at Midnight rise, and the way I watched Last Gamer rise, and the way I watched like Angry Video Game Nerd and all this other stuff. And, you know, Nostalgia Critic back in the day. I'm sure there's people who watch my channel now who are like, oh, if Jamie can do it, I can do it. And that's inspiring. Like, that's part of what I love. If I can inspire the next 3 or 4 people to come and do the same thing and develop their own niche, don't just do a copycat of me. Develop your own niche and figure out what works, you know? I see a lot of people posting content, and some are in my comments that like if I see someone posting a comment in my comments, I can't get around to everyone. The comments, there's just way too many of them. I'm starting to understand why people say don't read the comments, but I still read the comments, but I can't like everything. It's theoretical. It's actually impossible for me to check everything. But, you know, I'm trying to develop that. I've started this other channel, the news channel one I've started that I'm really focused on, and I'm going to keep adding stuff to that. That's a more long-term project because that's something I'm passionate about as well. And I think it's going to be entertainment niche. But yeah, if you like this video, like, subscribe, drop a comment, follow the socials in the description, especially the Instagram. I want that Instagram numbers up because, yeah, I'm really doubling down on Instagram because I think that's somewhat of a good platform, and that's somewhere I really want to grow in 2025. And if not, you can always watch one of these videos over here. I'll put 2 here that I curate for you. I don't know what I'm going to put there, but I'll find 2 curated videos here and put over here that you can watch. And you may enjoy them. I'm sure one of them will be, you don't need 4K Blu-ray, because that is, I'll probably put that down the bottom. But I'll put something newer up the top here, just so you have something to watch. Anyways, thanks for watching. Peace.